So, hello guys.
Hi guys.
Hi. So yeah, this is
a sucky video.
Yeah, it's not like the rest of them. So we had a misabortion, is the medical term. Basically, we went for our first ultrasound, and there was a baby there, and we got really excited, but there was no heartbeat.
No heartbeat.
So the midwife measured out, said that the baby was measuring at 8 weeks. So,
I was 11 weeks and 2 days at the time
that we went to the ultrasound.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna still as we were, sharing our experience. We're gonna continue with sharing our experience.
Even the not so great stuff.
Yeah. So, but get kind of teary-eyed. Giving you guys that heads up might happen. Because yeah, this stuff sucks. So, I guess we could start with how our excitement was in the morning. So we were really excited to be going, finally get to see our first baby, get to see first images.
Hello. Hi guys. So we're on the way to the appointment. Yay!
Yay!
He's freaking out.
I am sweating.
He's like had hot flashes since he woke up this morning.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But we will let you guys see what's going on or know what's going on. So I want to say hey to you guys, and we will see you in a little while. We had these t-shirts made.
T-shirts made, getting compliments on t-shirts. It was really cool.
They were really cute.
Awesome.
I'll leave a picture of the t-shirts. They were really cool. Thanks, Alex, for making the t-shirts.
Yeah, thank you, Alex.
Go check out Alex on Facebook.
So we get to the appointment. Everything's going well. Courtney's blood work came back great.
I'm healthy.
They did there's a health history on Courtney, asking her all these questions, and everything was great. Checks in the box. Awesome. Then came the exam. So the midwife starts examining Courtney. I got a little nervous because she grabbed like a little cotton swab, and there was like blood on the cotton swab, and she was like, "Oh, this is coming from your cervix," which I don't know what that means, but she didn't sound too excited about saying that when she said it.
It's not good. You shouldn't have blood coming from your cervix.
So I got a little nervous. Then after she got done, she was like, "Oh, it happens sometimes. It's all right. It's not a bad indicator." But her tone of voice was different. Then we got to the ultrasound. Ultrasound, she goes in there, and you can almost instantly see the baby. It was pretty exciting. And she's like looking. She's like, "Oh yeah, she's measuring it out." And she, within a couple of seconds, says that she has, it's not looking too good. Which immediately, heart drops, jaw drops. Yeah, it's really upsetting. So the midwife said that sometimes things happen, and you have to get a second opinion just to confirm it. She went and got the doctor, and the doctor looked, and yeah.
No heartbeat.
There was no heartbeat. There was no blood flow going to the baby, and then we started going through the conversation of how we going to essentially get the baby out.
So at this point, I heard everything. I knew what was going on, but I had no reaction. Actually, my reaction was okay to everything she said almost. Like, she was like, there's not great news. And I was like, okay. She said, there's no heartbeat. And I was like, okay. She was like, I'm sorry. And I was like, okay. I okayed everything that day. But I heard it.
So you know when you're having that moment where you're entering, but it's not really registering at the moment, that's essentially what happened to Courtney.
I was definitely there.
I was devastated. As soon as they walked out of the room, I started crying. Because, you know, it's a baby. I mean, granted, you know, I haven't been able to actually hold the baby, but I was consistently talking to Cameron.
Oh yeah, we named the baby Cameron.
You
know him as Jelly Bean.
Pretty much either, it wasn't every night, it was pretty close to it. Yeah. You know, kissing Courtney's stomach and things like that.
This was even before there was a baby. He talked to my ovaries. Yeah. And my uterus.
That was the thing.
That was a real thing. And then there was a baby and it became less weird. Yeah.
So yeah, it sucked. And then you start going through the doubt. You start doubting yourself. On what did you not do, or what did you do incorrect, even from a male perspective.
So what did you doubt?
Everything. Which is, I know it doesn't sound really like a rational thought, and it wasn't. But I started doubting, like, maybe I wasn't fit enough. Maybe it was the food I was eating. Maybe it was, maybe me not helping Courtney out with certain things around the house, or not getting a craving that she needed. Maybe those were things that led to it, you know? And so those thoughts start creeping in, and you can't help it. It sucks.
Yeah.
So the first day I was a complete wreck. I tried to do things to get my mind off of it. So I binge played video games, so that way I wouldn't actually be thinking about it. And it didn't work.
Yeah, he's been binge playing video games for
a week. It doesn't work at all.
This happened on Monday, and it is now Sunday.
Yeah, I've been binge playing video games ever since. Yeah. Aside from getting up to tend to Courtney, that's pretty much what I've been doing. Yeah, so
that was Monday.
Yeah, that was Monday.
And then Tuesday happened, and Tuesday was my bad day. I woke up and the world crumbled around me, literally and figuratively. Like, I was hysterical. I could not stop crying. I was apologizing to him, and the same kind of doubts that he said he had, I was experiencing. Like, maybe I shouldn't have been doing CrossFit, because I continued to do CrossFit even though I found out I was pregnant. I did get cleared by the doctor. I talked to them beforehand. They said since I had already been doing it, it should be fine. But it was still like, maybe I should have stopped. Or maybe I shouldn't have ate Fruit Loops as a main course for like 2 days. Or maybe I wasn't healthy enough. Maybe I should have lost weight before we got pregnant. Like, all these crazy thoughts. Maybe I should not have been having sex while I was pregnant. Like, crazy. Like, and like he said, they're kind of irrational. But in my mind, there was something that I did. It was like my job to protect this baby until it got to the world. And obviously I didn't protect the baby, because there's no baby now. So where he had the doubts on his end, I also had them, and they all hit me on Tuesday. And it sucked because we're both in the military, we both have obligations. So Monday he had to go to work and check into his new command. Tuesday I had to go to my job and check out of my command, and it was kind of hard to get myself together to do that, because at the end of the day we had lost our child. Like, you know, this is something that we have wanted for a while, and we got it, and now it's gone. And so it really was a difficult day. So the options they gave us when we found out about the missed abortion, we could wait to pass the baby naturally, and the midwife said that since she had already noticed some bleeding, that I could be preparing to do it. We could use these tablets to help kind of hurry the process along, which is pretty much how they speed up labor in regular mothers. So pretty much throw my body into contractions to get the baby out. And then we could do the DNC. And originally I was totally against the DNC. I didn't want to wait to do it naturally because it could take days to weeks, and I really wasn't trying to do that. So we chose to do the tablets at first. And we got the prescription on Monday. We came home, we talked about it. The doctor said that it could take up to 2 days, even with the tablets, for the baby to pass, and it was not something that you want to do alone. So we we're gonna do it on Friday, which would have been April the 3rd, after he got off work.
August the 3rd.
August. Why do I keep saying April? I don't know either. Sorry, August the 3rd. So that was the original plan, and then Tuesday I had a total meltdown, and I could not do it at home. So yeah.
So from there, well, I had notified my command on Tuesday that, well, I notified them on Monday of what happened, and they sent me home on Monday. I called them on Tuesday and let them know how my wife was having a tough time in the morning, and they completely understood. They told me just to stay home, just show face in the afternoon, which my command has been really understanding of this whole this whole week. So they've been really understanding and really supportive. So showed up on Tuesday and kind of gave them an update. They sent me home again. When I got home, we had a conversation. Courtney had just heard from the midwife that the appointment for the DNC would be on Wednesday. Notified my command. They're like, okay, cool, you know, be with your wife. Don't worry about coming in. Just give us a phone call so we know everything. So we know that you're alive. Did that. So now we're on to Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday was another not so bad day for me, emotion wise. And I can't really explain why. I don't know. We kind of have this unspoken rule between the two of us that we don't both fall apart at the same time. So one of us is able to support the other when it happens. And I don't want to say luckily, but it has worked out for us where we fall apart at different times. So, you know, Wednesday was a tough day for him. But it wasn't really one for me. So we showed up Wednesday morning at the OB clinic, and they had already kind of said that it would probably be a long day for us because I wasn't on the schedule. The doctor just kind of was trying to squeeze me in between some of her other patients. But when we got there at 8, after we talked to the doctor, filled out the paperwork, did consents and all that kind of stuff, she said that the OR had something available for that morning. So we were able to get in relatively quickly that morning.
For medical standards, it was pretty quickly.
Yeah. So fast forward to the procedure.
Yeah, so we were sitting there waiting for, like, I guess the anesthesiologist to...
Anesthesiologist?
Yeah, that. To come in and do what they do.
Anesthese me?
And I was falling apart.
Yeah.
Like, in the hospital, like, completely falling apart. So, in my head, I was picturing which it's another, like, completely not rational thought, that someone was coming in and taking my baby and just walking out, and I would never have my baby ever. And it was a horrible and rough,
is that what you were thinking?
sickening feeling. Yes.
I don't think I knew that.
So I had this, and it just kept replaying in my head over and over, that the whole surgery, everything was going through my head, that Courtney's in the operating room sleep because she's gonna be under, and they're just simply just gonna cut my baby out and walk away, and never be able to see my baby ever. And I, even knowing that there's no heartbeat or anything, it still is crushing.
Still your baby. I mean, that's
and it sucks.
We worked hard for that.
And I was trying not to share it with Courtney. I was trying my hardest, but in her diligence and trying to make sure that I am open with her and sharing my feelings with her, she kept on. To the point that I ended up telling her, and I broke down in the hospital, started crying.
So I only got half of that story. I didn't get somebody was cutting out the baby and walking away. I didn't get that part. That's my first time hearing it. But I did get the overall picture that somebody was taking the baby. But I didn't know that was the image, I guess, for him. And for the flip side, for me, was more of there's angels coming to get our baby and take our baby away to be with family, and our baby wouldn't be alone anymore. Like, it was kind of lonely, and it's only you. So, didn't have any connection to me anymore, so it was just there. And I think that's what comforted me in those moments. I was more afraid of the procedure itself than I was about the baby. Like, I haven't had surgery as an adult, so anesthesia kind of scared me a little, especially with my Meniere's disease. I didn't know how I would react to anesthesia, if it would throw me into a vertigo attack, and then I'd have to deal with that on top of all of the emotions and everything of the DNC itself. So that was my fear, which I did not share. I kind of kept my stuff together to be there for him because he was having a lot more of a difficult time with it than me. But at that moment, in the moments prior to me going back for surgery, that those were kind of my thoughts. Like, well, what if I don't wake up from anesthesia? What if something goes wrong and I can't get pregnant again? What if the anesthesia throws me into these violent vertigo attacks, which I already hate? But, you know, I got through it. We got through it. So the procedure went well. They got everything. They are doing some chromosomal testing on a baby and something with the placenta that I had, to see if there was anything that they could tell us about the loss of the pregnancy. But we have to wait a couple of weeks for that. And then we went to recovery. Coming out of the anesthesia was interesting. And I think when I first got wheeled back to PACU, one of the first, I clearly remember 2 comments that I made to the nurse when I first woke up. The first one was, "There's no more jelly bean. Jelly bean gone." And she said, "Yeah, jelly bean's gone." And my next comment was, "Where's my husband and is he okay?" And I probably said those 2 comments at least 4 times. And I think the nurse kind of saw me starting to freak out. So they switched the topic to me being a new nurse and checking into the command and, you know, stuff that I was looking forward to and where I went to nursing school. And although the experience was devastating, why we had to be there, the care that I received while I was there was amazing. Everybody was so nice and helpful, able to answer any of our questions. It was a sucky experience, but from a care, being a patient standpoint, it was a good experience with all of the people that we encountered. So we came home after that. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to eat, but I had to take pain medication. So he forced me to eat, of course. I ate and I got in bed. And I was on that medication because the cramps so first of all, they said that it would be like a heavy menstrual cycle, and you would get menstrual cramps. And I don't have menstrual cramps, thank God. So I didn't know what they were talking about, but they are serious. Those cramps are, ugh. If you have them every month, God be with you, because that was so painful. And now I'm kind of glad that I did not decide to pass the baby at home, because if those cramps were not contractions, I don't know what I would have done as far as actually having to pass the baby from contractions, because those cramps were enough to have me in tears. I need medication right now. And I feel like I'm a pretty strong person. Like, I feel like I have a high pain tolerance. And those things were horrible. And yesterday was the first day that I did not take medication for these cramps. Which was Saturday. So, 4 days. Took me 4 days not to be on medication for cramps. And I probably could have taken medication yesterday, but I was just like, I want to push through. I don't want to depend on this medication. So I didn't take any yesterday. I haven't taken any today. I will probably take some tonight because I have been up all day doing busy work, cleaning the house. Probably went a little bit too hard. Possibly. We shall see. But being in the house and not being able to do a lot drives me crazy. like stir crazy. Like, there's only so much sleeping. There's only so much television. We've played video games. We've watched movies. Ugh. Ugh. Ugh.
Yeah. Like I said, try to stay busy so that way you can not really think about it, but you need to have a moment.
Yeah.
However long that moment is for you, that's on you. We had each other in it, so it helped our moments kind of go by a little faster.
We also had an amazing support system.
Yes, friends and family. So I found out that misabortions and miscarriages are actually more common than not.
They've happened to people that are close to us that we never would have known had it not been for our situation. Friends, family members were like, yeah, I had one, and you know, I had one, my first child, and blah, blah. And we were like, what? Really? Like, never would have known. So,
I mean, and it makes sense because who wants to share that with a bunch of people? So,
which is why we are making this video.
Yeah.
So we tried to find videos on YouTube pertaining to couples that had gone through it, or, you know, that we found we related to, and there wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
So we wanted to sit down with you guys, and also because we had been sharing our pregnancy journey with you, and this unfortunately is a part of the journey. So yeah. One thing that I can say that I am grateful for from this experience is our communication and the way we have handled this situation. I feel like it's definitely made our relationship stronger.
I agree.
And if that's, you know, if this is something that we had to go through to reach this level in our relationship, then that's in God's plans too. So
yeah. I would say if you can, especially from a male perspective, try not to get into a rut. That's one thing I try not to do.
And he forced me not to do.
So, granted, there probably could have been more constructive things I could have did besides play video games, but it was just the one thing that I was doing because it kept me near her, and it still kind of kept my mind off of things. And it helped a little bit, not really a lot, but it helped a little bit. At least enough to kind of get me through the days that she was struggling.
And for me, I think I just wanted to be around him most of the time. I'm not usually a clingy person, but when I slept, I had to have some part of my body touching his. Like he said, he was never too far. So when I was in the room sleeping or whatever, I know that he would come in and check on me because I'm kind of a light sleeper. Or our dogs too have been amazing. I have not been alone in months. In months. And so the Mickey and Bella pretty much stayed with me. I have my family, my husband and my dogs was a great support. But it still is hard. There's some days I don't want to watch TV because you see these baby commercials.
Yeah, really crazy. Really, hold on, we gotta put a pen on this one. So, Friday?
I don't know what you're finna say, so.
So I want to say it was Friday, and we were watching like 4 weddings on TV.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Yes to the dress. Some one of them shows.
TLC weddings series kind of.
And every single commercial
was a baby commercial.
Was about babies. Never happened ever before that.
Pampers, Pediasure.
Then I almost completely broke down. Like,
I did break down once. We saw this commercial. They have a TLC show called Unexpected. Mm-hmm. And it's about teenagers who unexpectedly get pregnant. And I saw that commercial and it made me so mad. Like, these kids, literally kids, are having kids, don't know what, don't have their lives together, barely in or out of high school, depending on their age. And they are able to have kids. Here we are in our 30s, have a career, have a house. We're ready, and it happened to us, and it made me so upset. Like, why? Like, literally questioning God at that moment. Like, why, God? Why would you allow this to happen to me? And it's so horrible to say, and it's so horrible to think about, but because you never want to wish this on anybody. It's hard enough to go through, but again, as human beings, we have these thoughts, and those were my thoughts when I saw that commercial. Like, why me and not them? Clearly, they're unprepared. So, yeah, that was a hard. I think after that commercial, I came and got into bed and just cried for a little while. Yeah. And I still have my moments. There has not been a day since Tuesday that I have not cried. And for those of you going through it, it'll happen. And we all grieve at our own pace, and we all deal with situations differently. So don't beat yourself up for not wanting to talk to anybody. There were times when I didn't even want to talk to him. I could not talk to him. And if, like he said, I was persistent, if it wasn't for him continuously asking me or letting me not shut down, I would have probably been in that dark place that no one, or that you don't really want to get to, because it's really easy to get there. So please, please, please talk to somebody, or, find your way to grieve and, mourn the loss of your child, but, also have that balance of that support. Because there are a lot of people who have gone through this. Even if it is you just connected with somebody on YouTube, in some way it's a support. Cry, scream, yell, do whatever you have to do, but if you need help, get the help that you need.
Yes. And if you are a person who's nearby and you see the person struggling, or even if you really can't tell because they're hiding it very well, say something. Offer the support. You'd be surprised on how much just offering and saying that you're there actually means to someone.
And for people going through it, people won't know what to say to you. Even people who have gone through it, when they found out about our situation, they didn't know what to say. People are gonna say the wrong things.
Or just the things you don't want to hear at the moment.
And it's not intentional. It's not to be harmful. We had family and friends that I don't want to say hurt us, but said the wrong thing unknowingly. And it's kind of just a part of the process. So don't be too hard on other people, but don't be too hard on yourself either. So going forward, from this process, from this stage, we do plan to try again. And not wait too long in that.
Nope.
I mean, at this point, we have no reason to wait. We were prepared. 11 weeks ago when this started, so nothing has changed. Yeah, we're still trying to make baby Skipworth 2019 happen.
That's the plan.
So I go back for my follow-up August the 14th, and hopefully everything goes well, and once we get cleared, we will be continuing this journey. In the meantime, obviously we won't be posting about our pregnancy journey because there isn't one right now, but we do plan to still keep the channel. I'm not changing the name. We'll just talk about other stuff until we have a pregnancy journey to continue on with.
We will be getting tattoos.
Yes, we are getting commemorative tattoos for Jelly Bean. Stay tuned for that. We'll probably make a video of that. Yeah, we'll go to the tattoo shop. But again, Jelly Bean's name was Cameron. Either girl or boy. Kamryn.
If it was a girl.
If it was a girl. I don't remember how we spelled the boy.
We didn't actually officially come up with a way to spell the boy's name, but it was going to be spelled with a K.
Yeah, there was going to be a K. No Y though. The Y was for the girl.
Yeah.
But, so, Cameron Skipworth. Rest in peace, I guess. We loved you, and that's all.
Yeah.
So, thanks for watching, guys. We will keep you guys posted on what's next.